Blistering new report out. More Americans texting while driving than any other country in the world, texting to their own destruction. But tonight here, it's not the only technology that can lead to danger behind the wheel.
That's right, even when you think you're in good hands, like with a GPS. It gets you where you're going, right? Well, not always. Jay Shadler hit the road to retrace a journey that was quite literally hell on wheels for one family. Lost in the hottest place on Earth, and the very thing they were counting on to save them didn't. Their GPS.
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair.
Inside the little gray Hyundai, sailing along with Hotel California playing on the radio, is Donna Cooper. Donna, her daughter Gina, and their friend Jenny Ling, visiting from Hong Kong, are on a day trip to an old mansion turned tourist museum in Death Valley.
I had never been to Scotty's Castle. I've been saying for years I'd like to go, and I never went. You know, it's a nice day trip.
They recently returned to Death Valley to relive their memories. What was the day like?
Beautiful, gorgeous, hot.
So it was a good day to take a trip.
Yeah.
Turn left on California 190.
Also along for the ride, Donna's trusty GPS, nicknamed Nell.
I named her after my mother, who was always telling me how to do things and where to go.
That's perfect. Their other, more ominous traveling companion today is the weather. Outside their climate-controlled car, nature is in control. Death Valley's staggering beauty is matched by its deadly heat. It's the hottest place on Earth. On this day, the temperature will reach 121 degrees. Park rangers know what that can mean.
And for somebody stuck in the backcountry without water, they will begin becoming disoriented and dehydrated. Kidneys will start to shut down. Your blood starts to thicken, stroke, coma, and death.
But all that could not be further from the minds of Donna and the girls. What did you take in terms of provision?
We took some food, some water.
It's more than enough for a day trip.
Their decision to visit that popular tourist museum was so spur of the moment, no one knew that they were going, not even Donna's husband, Roger. He's in Florida, tending to their other daughter, Sky, who is undergoing gallbladder surgery. Did she mention that she was going to go out to Death Valley?
No, but she did tell me to have Sky call her when she came out of the hospital, you know, just to find out how she was, make sure she was okay.
At 1 o'clock, the women arrive at the museum, and 2 hours later, on their way out, Donna stops at the gift shop to buy Gina a t-shirt. She swipes her credit card, and they set off for home.
We just headed on the road the same way we came.
Except for one small, fateful detour.
And then I saw a sign about the racetrack. And I've never seen it, and I've always wanted to see it. It's very interesting.
The racetrack is a geological curiosity. Shifting boulders leave skid marks in the cracked mud. But to get there, you need to go off the paved highway onto jagged back roads.
We drove for like 10 miles, I would say, and never saw the racetrack, never really saw anything.
Turning around, the women come to Tea Kettle Junction, a dirt intersection where a number of unmarked roads cross. Here is where their day trip begins to turn into a very bad trip.
At the end of that 10 miles, we weren't back where we began. That's when I said, well, we went the wrong way. Let's put the GPS on and get back on the right road.
Drive 0.8 miles to Dirt Road, on left.
Nell begins dispatching directions with the confidence of a digital brain.
Drive 0.2 miles to intersection, on right.
I'm kind of like getting aggravated with Nell because she was like taking us nowhere.
Getting lost like this in Death Valley has a nasty history. Legend has it the park got its name during the California gold rush, when treasure seekers discovered the valley was a shortcut to the gold and to the Undertaker.
Continue 0.3 miles.
But GPS has added a cruel twist to the old tale. In 2009, a 6-year-old boy died after his mother became lost following her GPS.
As I learned more about that case, I found out that they went down a road that no longer existed
Ranger Charlie Callahan says growing numbers of visitors to these remote areas are being put at risk by devices with directions that are misleading or plain wrong.
If you're asking to go home, but if you're not saying lead me to the closest paved road, just the shortest route, that GPS could lead you, through 100 miles of dirt road before you reach the paved road.
Though Charlie's been working with GPS manufacturers to improve their databases, a quick test we performed confirmed there are still major problems, either because of outdated maps or a device that hasn't been updated.
Continue 0.6 miles, then turn right on Golden Canyon Road.
For example, the directions to Golden Canyon Road couldn't be clearer.
Seems pretty straightforward. This is a good paved highway.
Turn right on Golden Canyon Road.
But where the GPS says there's a road,
I don't see a road.
What we have here is a canyon wall.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the road used to go at least a mile in here, but that washed out in 1976 in a flash flood. So this road has not existed for 35 years.
Whether something like this is happening to Donna and the girls is unclear. But it's unmistakable that instead of heading home, they are moving deeper into the desolation of Death Valley.
Drive 0.8 miles to Tea Kettle. Recalculating.
We just kept saying, go this distance and take a turn. Make a U-turn.
Turn left on Old Ghost Road.
There's nothing there.
The GPS is confusing, and their cell phones are useless. Back in Florida, Roger and Sky's calls aren't being answered.
Sky tried to call her and just got voicemail. And it was a minor concern. It wasn't a major concern at that point.
It should have been. Death Valley's vast, featureless landscape is disorienting the women.
There's no landmarks, there's no people, there's no houses, there's no cars, there's no animals. We didn't even see an ant.
The temperature is now peaking at 121, and their provisions are vanishing. A half bottle of water left and a quarter tank of gas. And then, in the middle of all this immense emptiness, a curious sign of hope.
Right out of the clear blue sky, there's this row of mailboxes. Mailboxes. There's not a soul. There's not any sign of civilization.
So I got out, opened them, and one of the mailboxes, there's a piece of yellow paper saying that, "Sorry, we have missed you. Come by again. We were under the big tree," whatever big tree means.
Whatever its meaning, it's lost on the lost.
So we put it back in the mailbox, and we kept going.
Now the light and their mood grows dimmer. The gas tank light flashes on like an exclamation. The car spits and sputters to a stop.
We were out of gas, we were out of road, we were out of everything.
Tonight, they remain lost, but tomorrow, stripped of their air-conditioned cocoon, will be deadly. Their salvation down to a prayer and a clue they shut the door on a few miles back. When you're lost or stranded, the sunrise is normally a welcome sight, but not in Death Valley, not in July.
Weather forecast for today, mostly sunny, high near 121.
Unprepared to survive in the desert and possibly misled by their GPS, Donna, her daughter Gina, and their friend Jenny have driven aimlessly through 100 miles of wasteland. They measure their chances of survival now in droplets of water.
There's only 3 ounces left. We are all dehydrated.
The gas is gone too. Last night, their car had staggered to a stop.
The car was empty, like empty.
But with the punishing heat returning and the prospect of death with it, Gina convinces her mom to try the car one more time.
So, got in the car, said a prayer, turned the key, and the car started right up. To this day, I cannot believe it.
Whether it had to do with condensation, the air temperature, or maybe that prayer, The little gray Hyundai is rolling again. But to where? And for how long? Back in Florida, Donna's daughter Sky and her dad know something has gone dreadfully wrong. Gina has not shown up for work, and Donna never came home.
Oh, I'm panicking now. Where is my wife? Where is my daughter? Where is Jenny? Now it's like, oh my God, something's really wrong here.
They notify authorities in Nevada and California.
We'll have CHP clear that as well.
California Highway Patrol chopper pilots Tyler Johns and Scott Steele lift off from their base 200 miles south of Death Valley.
3.5 million acres, almost 1,000 miles of backcountry roads. Our search area is daunting. Still UTO, continuing east. I copy that.
Still, the searchers have one small clue, given to them by Donna's daughter, Sky, back in Florida. Running a check on Donna's credit card accounts, she sees her mom made a purchase the day before. That T-shirt at Scotty's Castle. It's an unexpected break, but the inferno that is Death Valley is huge and unforgiving. But then, on the burning horizon, the women seem to see a tiny patch of green, recalling for them that strange note they found in the mailbox yesterday. We're under the big trees, it said. Leaving their car, risking the exposure, they stagger back from the road. It's not a mirage.
There is a screen porch and 3 trailers. It was like
This paradise has a curious collection of camping trailers, locked and abandoned during these hot months, and even a little dirty well water to share. What does it taste like?
hose, hot hose.
It was hot.
But as night falls again, they wonder if they have now only postponed the inevitable.
I was like, I don't want to die here. Nobody's ever gonna find us.
As the third day begins, even the searchers are growing doubtful.
Yeah, let's bring it down to about 500.
If we don't find them that day, we were pretty sure that they would be dead. And our next mission up to the park would be a body recovery.
For 6 hours, the choppers sweep the skies. Though they are running low on fuel, pilots Johns and Steele decide they will check one last remote corner of the park.
Kind of northbound up in Saline Valley.
Saline Valley, which is, in my experience, the most remote part of the park.
But tucked away in Saline Valley is that dusty camp with big trees.
Looks like possibly a vehicle. You see the dirt road.
We saw their vehicle next to a road, which we're like, hey, is that a car? Because we hadn't seen a car all day, it seemed like.
It definitely looks like a vehicle.
And then I jumped down, put my sneakers on, grabbed the yellow emergency blankets, rushed out to the big tree, and there I see the CHP helicopter.
Clear down on the left.
I waved that blanket.
I heard her screaming.
And I said, Donna, come out!
So I went running outside, and there it is. I said, boy, I've never so happy to see anything in my life.
I cried. I saw the helicopter and I started crying.
I have visual. I have visual.
Got a phone call from the California Highway Patrol. They've been found.
Recently, 2020 brought the women and the pilots together again. The reunion almost felt like being rescued all over.
I never thought we would see them again. Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, my God.
Hello!
Oh, my gosh.
How are you?
I am so happy to see you. You have no idea. Oh, my gosh.
God. Oh, my gosh.
Wonderful. Oh, my gosh. Look at you. Oh, I'm so happy. This must ring constantly. I talk about you guys all the time. Oh, this is so nice. Oh,
I like the tea.
oh, this is wonderful.
As for Nell, Donna's old GPS, it was eventually given the boot. Seems it became stuck on only one direction.
It just would not get off home. Just home, 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 home.
Suppose you can hardly blame it. And anyway, Donna's bought a new one.
Yes, her name is Rosie. She usually gets us back on the right track. And I know enough not to listen to every word she says.
Continue 11 miles on California 190.